Hello FNAFers, the spring's come and so did FNAF. And what if Glamrock Freddy is William Afton? Okay, I know what you think. But hey, William Afton is in Burntrap, and why would he even help Gregory if he was Glamrock Freddy? I will explain everything right now. Starting with, how would this even be possible if William Afton is in Burntrap? In the books Fazbear Frights we find out about agony, which are bad emotions left by something bad that happened in the past. And those emotions can create evil entities that will act by instincts, which represent the action that created the agony itself. In the Fazbear Frights Book 1, Story 1, Into the Pit, we can see an agony entity created by agony caused by William in 1985 when he killed the missing children. And now I am going to say what that agony entity does in the books, and I want you to say if that doesn't remind you of something. In the books, he is an entity wearing a spring bunny costume, with sometimes glowing eyes, which looked lifeless. When the main character starts to come to the pizzeria more often, he starts to notice the spring bunny standing in the corner of the main room, being creeped out by it. But when he came again, at the end of the summer, the people were running out of the pizzeria, and the spring bunny started leading the main character through a dark hallway. The door to the hallway said private. The spring bunny led the main character to a party room, with dead kids sitting lined up against a wall. It looked like they were celebrating a birthday because of the birthday hats on their heads. The spring bunny looked at the main character, and it seemed like he wanted the main character to be his next victim. Now, don't you feel like we already saw this somewhere else? In FNAF we can find an entity wearing a spring bunny costume with glowing eyes, which looked lifeless. When we start to collect more of the cassettes, the spring bunny standing in the corner of the room being creepy starts to be more visible and more close to us. But at the end of the game, we are walking in dark hallways, fighting plushes of spring bunny. The closer we get to the end, the more we find of them. When we get to the end, we are at the backstage, which is decorated as a party room with a birthday poster, gifts and a cake, and there are Bonnie and Chica sitting lined up against a wall. And then we see the spring bunny waving at us and wanting us to come closer, and if we do, we get stuffed into a Freddy Fazbear suit. This strangely sounds a lot like what Spring Bunny from the Into the Pit did in the book. Both FNAF and Into the Pit were posted in the same year, and so Into the Pit probably was trying to explain what Glitchtrap was, an agony created from William's murders. And as we know, Glitchtrap is now possessing Burntrap, which means that William is still out there, somewhere, either in UCN or he found a new body. And here is where the Glamrock William theory comes in. But before we continue, I want to ask you to please subscribe to my channel to not miss any of my videos and press that like button with a bell. Now, what if Glamrock Freddy is William Afton? Glamrock Freddy's eyes are blue, but when he meets Gregory, his eyes become colorless, and so they glow whitish yellow, I guess. Now, if we look at William's eyes in the graphic novels, we'll see that he has gray eyes, which were probably blue when he was younger, but they are gray, which fits Freddy's colorless eyes when he meets Gregory. I know this is not such a strong proof, but still. You may ask that even if William is Glamrock Freddy, why would he act so nice instead of murderous? In FNAF Fazbear Frights Book 9, Story 1, The Puppet Carver, we see a pizzeria owner named Jack, who acted mean to people in his life, but when he climbs into a machine for carving, he presumably dies, but then he comes back to life from his remains, and he wanted to say sorry to every person he was mean to and rehire the workers he fired, and he basically became a better person, having a redemption. A pizzeria owner who wasn't that of a good person in his life before he died, but when he came back to life he had a redemption? Kinda fits the theory that William has possessed Glamrock Freddy, don't you think so? Also, when we go down under the Pizzaplex, where Burntrap roams, Glamrock Freddy says,
"But I can protect you. I am not me."
Also, some people think that Gregory looks like a crying child, and so this would make sense for why William would protect him, because William tried to protect him in the FNAF 4 by keeping him away from the pizzeria using Fredbear plush. So here is a theory: what if William's soul was split in two? His evil side has gone to the UCN to be tortured, but his good side was let to stay and have possessed Glamrock Freddy. Perhaps it can be the doing of the puppet, aka one of William's first victims, who brought other kids back to life in the past. So what if Glamrock Freddy is a redemption arc for William? If this would be true, it would be so cool. I thought about this idea a while ago, but didn't have any proof. But Crystal Shell made a brief video about this theory and found some evidence which helped create me this video. I will say it immediately: I do not believe this theory, but I think there is a little possibility for it, and so I wanted to talk about it. So yeah, tell me in the comments what you think about this little theory and who possesses Glamrock Freddy in your opinion. Or you can join my Discord server in the description and talk about it there. But for now, that's it. Subscribe to my channel to not miss any of my videos, press that like button with the bell, and remember, I always come back.